In this Nitty-Gritty Basics Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mah Jongg at I Love Maj using the 2024 National Mah Jongg League card. I've only just started including the year when I say what card we're using because some people are not used to looking at the date stamp at the end of the video titles. Just so you know, the date stamp follows this convention, YYYY, MMDD. So the year, the month, and then the day. And typically I get the card the first weekend in April. So around the 5th or 7th, somewhere around in there, I'm going to be using the current card after that date. So, oh, and also if you're watching my lesson videos, any title that says American Mah Jongg lesson uses the mock American Mah Jongg card, which is timeless. And that uses YYYY in year blocks. So no matter when you watch the video, you can plug in your year. So just a little bit of a public service announcement before we get started. Today's format is going to be just a little bit different because we're going to do a little bit of Q&A, but first I'm going to read a small section of my book so that you can get an idea of what's inside. And if you're new to the game or if you're an intermediate player who maybe just learned how to play and still doesn't have the game mechanics down, my first primer is a great book for you because it's got all the fundamentals in it. So we'll read from there briefly, but I forgot that I wanted to show something. So let me quickly get this ready. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the live stream. Oh, let me get YouTube up over here. Hold on. Got a few little behind the scenes things going on. Okay, let's see. Oops. Let's see. Here we go. I think this is what I want to. I guess we can show this one here. No, that's not. All right, never mind. Oh, never mind. We won't do an image. Sorry about that. I'm not ready for that. I thought I would just read, but it'd be kind of nice to show an image of my book. But anyhow, welcome everybody. All right, so I'm just going to get started and you'll just get to see me. No image, just me. So I'm just going to read from my book. It's just about the Charleston, and then we'll open it up to Q&A of anything. So you can ask questions about skills, strategies, any troubles that you might be having. Just put them in chat in caps, and then we'll do a Q&A session, and then we'll do gameplay with commentary for the rest of the session. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of reading. So grab a drink. If you need to get up and grab a drink, you could do that while you listen to me. And this is going to be very brief. It's just one big paragraph. All right, so here we go. This is about the Charleston. American Mah Jongg is a game of multiples. How many times have you heard me say that? I think too many to count. Multiples, if you don't already know, are pairs, pungs, and kongs. Approximately 85% of the combinations on the card require big multiples. These would be pungs, kongs, and quints. So a little multiple would be a pair. Big multiples, pung, kong, quint. And a sextet if they ever bring them back, which is a 6 of a kind. We haven't seen those in many years. All right, the best way or the best strategy is to build around multiples and choose a category that uses the multiples and the tiles that support them. Once you have decided which category you will attempt, move unwanted tiles to one side of your rack. You may see that your tiles fit into one or more category. That's good. Your strategy should include options. Select 3 discards and place them upside down in front of your rack. This would be for Charleston modeling with your tiles at home, by the way. So if you're playing with people, you're going to put them to the sides. But if you're doing this exercise at home, you put them in front of your rack, and then you take prearranged mock Charleston tiles from the other side of your rack. And there are images for this in the book, by the way, that kind of walk you through the process. You're going to take those and put them in your rack, and then you're going to fit the tiles in based on the category that you've selected. Then you're going to go on to the next two passes. If you end the Charleston with 3 unwanted tiles, proceed to the optional round. If you have fewer than 3 tiles, stop the Charleston. If you stop the Charleston, you are still eligible to the optional across pass, and you can exchange up to 3 tiles. Mix the tiles in the Charleston and make the exchange. One indicator of a good decision making is to have 4 or fewer discards after the Charleston. So that's from the primer, volume 1. So in that book, there are links to the wiki, and I think I'll put a link to this in the video description. And that is an article called Exercising Charleston Options. This is a great wiki article with some strategy on making decisions during the Charleston. So let me see here if I can, will it let me do this? Let me see. Oh, I think it will. Here is Exercising Charleston Options. There we go. Okay. So I just added, oh shoot, it's already, never mind. Can't do it while. There we go. Sorry about that. I was trying to be all slick. I was trying to be a city slicker. I am not a city slicker. Okay, so let's see. Exercising Charleston Options. There we go. So I put it in the video description on YouTube. So if you refresh your screen later, you'll be able to see this particular wiki article, and that'll walk you through some strategies on making decisions during the Charleston. All right, so now that was super quick. That's kind of the plan, make these readings really quick so we can do Q&A. Does anybody have any questions about the game? Anything at all? Ask me anything, and I'll do my best to answer. Just write them in caps so that we can differentiate between just saying hello and questions. And I'm looking straight at my platform here for streaming so I can see your comments. Whenever I look down, that's because I'm looking at the chat. Is it working okay? Are you guys with me? I hope I didn't mess something up here. Hold on. We are live. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Okay, Dana. Hi, Dana. There, how's that? Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Any pain points that you would like to talk through? If not, we can just jump right into gameplay with commentary. Thank you, Mona. All right, I guess you all just want to get right into gameplay with commentary. That's totally fine. I'm prepared. I actually have I Love Maj up and ready to go. Okay, B says, is there a new way to speed up a very slow player? Oh, is there a nice way? Sorry about that. Is there a nice way to speed up a very slow player? B's out. Okay, Ruth, we'll get to the game right after this question because there's only one. So when someone is playing slow at your table, it could be for several reasons. Maybe they're having an off day. Maybe they are new to the game and they're just playing with people for the first time. Maybe maybe they have diminished mental capacity. So depending on your situation, I think is going to depend on what you do about it, if anything. If you are playing in a day game, let's say, and you only played one game, give it a couple of games, because maybe they just need to pick up their own steam, find their mojo, find their groove. Give them a game or two to get things going. And then if they continue to struggle, what I would do is, if you have a good relationship with them, is pull them aside at some point during this playing session and ask them if they want some tips in the game, or maybe mention that that you noticed they were struggling with the game a little bit and that you'd like to help. Now, if you're not able to help or you don't want to help and there's a leader in the group, talk to the leader privately and mention it, and then let the leader handle the situation. Now, is this a drop-in game, or is this a private game with the same people week after week? Because that may also make a difference. Weekly game, same people. Okay. And you're all friends. Is that right? You're all friends? Okay, Mona, I see. Okay, you're all friends. I would pull her aside and talk to her privately and just say, listen, I enjoy playing with you so much, and I would love to, or I've noticed that you struggle a little bit. Would you like some help with decision making? And if you can't help her, send her to my videos. Let me help her. Send her to my this whole session. This nitty-gritty basics would be perfect for her. So there are online ways that this person could maybe learn. Maybe she could practice online, practice decision making by playing with robots at I Love Mahj, which we're going to do in a few minutes. So I would just talk to her privately and just say, listen, I've noticed you're struggling. Can I help you? What can I do to help? If you don't feel like that is going to be accepted well, you could also do one other thing. I'll make one other suggestion and then we'll move on to playing the game. The other thing you could do is offer it to the group to say, I am really interested in skill building. Would you all want to participate in some skill building exercises with me before we start playing in each of our sessions? So for example, you can do a session where each player would do Charleston modeling, and you can help her make decisions through the Charleston that over time will help her build confidence in hand development and speed up her game. You could also do Charleston sprints where you have to make decisions in under, let's say, 3 minutes, put a timer on it and track it, and maybe have a prize. Whoever has the best average time gets a prize. Or maybe we pay for their lunch if you're at a restaurant or something like that. So there are a lot of skill builders you can do to start off your session. Maybe even you could do a Charleston chain reaction so she can see that making mistakes is okay. There are a couple of ways that you can play a hand with the same tiles. So if you do start the game or start the day with exercises, that might be a great way to help her and help yourself and others as well. So I hope that helps. Okay, so now Mona says, I've been getting a widespread hands. It always takes longer to organize your thoughts. Okay, so let's just start with that. I'm going to go ahead and share I Love Mahj. I almost said MAHJLIFE. I Love Mahj, and we're going to get started. So we'll have lots of gameplay with commentary now. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go up here. Here's I Love Mahj. Now, I don't know if y'all are familiar with this site or not. I use this for these nitty-gritty basic Let's Play live streams. They have a section at the top where you can play with robots or your friends. You can play with strangers too. Down below is the exercise room. We'll do a Charleston practice in here and hopefully find a game or a hand where we have a wide spread, and we'll talk about that since Mona brought it up. So you can make a hand to practice making every hand on the card. If you're new to the game, that's a great exercise. There are a couple of other exercises here you could do to help you learn the hands. What hand is that? Mahjong and Heavenly Hands. Those are all games based on hands on the card. So you can kind of gamify your experience if you like that kind of a thing. I am more practical. I like going right into Charleston practice. So that's what we're going to do here. So here we go. We're going to look for a hand where we have no multiples. So in this case, we have multiples. We've got twos and fours. If this were my hand, I would probably focus on, we have 2, 3, 4 and BAMs. I would focus on twos and pass one dot. I probably start right here. Maybe, let's see, 6, 3. I'd probably keep that and pass like that and focus on either 2, 3, 4 dragon, or maybe like numbers with twos, maybe a year hand. But we want to try to find a hand where we have no multiples. We are looking for a wide spread. So we're going to do it again. See if we have 2 pair, 2s and 7s. We're going to just keep doing this until we get a wide spread. And then we'll do another one where we focus on multiples. So I'm looking for a wide spread. We have another multiple in there, 2, 3s and 8s. Okay, let's try again. Exercise. Okay. Here, nope, we got a pair of 4s. So we'll do this one more time. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We keep getting multiples. Okay. Here we have a pair of souths. So let's start here. Let's just pretend that that south is a north. I would break it up. We're going to pretend that's a north. And that way we can focus on what to do when you have a wide spread. So the first thing that I would do is look for isolated tiles that you know don't fit in. For example, this north, which right now looks like a south, we're calling it a north. And we have all the rest of these tiles that are singles. This is what I call a wide spread. And sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge to figure out what to play, where to start. The first thing I look for would be like numbers to see if there would be a predominant pattern. So we have like numbers with 6s and we have 9s. We even have a 3. So I would say the predominant pattern could be either 3, 6, 9 or 5 through 9. Either way, we didn't use the wind, dragon, and the 1. So we could play 3, 6, 9, 5 through 9. We could even play like numbers with 6s. So maybe we hold that white dragon and let something else go. I probably would not pass 2 wins. I think what I would do is probably let the 5 BAM go. I think we have more 3, 6, 9 than anything. We have 2 3s, 2 6s, 2 9s, 3, 6, 9. So if you say out loud in your head, not out loud, if you say in your head, your like numbers, a pattern will emerge. 3, 6, 9. Like numbers with 3s, like numbers with 6s, like numbers with 9s. 3, 6, 9. Now there is some 6, 7 in here, but we have no 8. We had only 1 5. So 3, 6, 9 is the category to play. What do you think of that, Mona? Okay, here we have 5s. So 5s showed up, which is fine. So now we have 5, 6, 7. We don't need the 2. We can let a wind go. And now we make a choice. So you pass what your known discards. We know we don't need a 2 and we don't need a south. We know that. So those can go. Now we just need one more tile. So you look at the rest of your tiles and you identify your predominant pattern, which in this case is either 3, 6, 9 or 5, 6, 7. We're kind of in between. I would probably let the dragon go. because now a 2 white, that would be really risky. So I probably wouldn't do that. So I would let something else go. We have 5, 6, 5, 6, not the right 7 for maybe the concealed hand. We do have 3, 6, 9 several ways. So that's what I would focus on. I would focus on 3, 6, 9. Okay, now we have a 7 and an 8. Sometimes a different pattern will emerge for maybe a lesser option. You just keep track of it and you go with the trend. So here we have a lot now of 5 through 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 through 9. I would let the East go. That is a clear outlier. We do have one of each dragon, which is weak. So I would let one of them go. And now we just need to find one tile. These are all keepers at the moment, except that dragon, because I wouldn't pass the white dragon. I wouldn't pass 2 dragons together, and 2 dragons with a wind, that is extremely risky. So I would not do that. So now we have to decide, do I want to play like numbers? Oh, I'm sorry. Do I want to play 3, 6, 9 or 5 through 9? In mixed suits, 5 through 9 is too wide of a range. If you look at that category, the numbers are usually 4 numbers in a range. So I think that either the 9s can go or the 5s. Since we're in between 3, 6, 9 and 5 through 9, let's keep the 9s and let one of the 5s go. So, oh, we only have one. So we'll let that 5 bam go. Maybe because the 5 bam matches the green dragon, let's put the white dragon in there now. So we now have 6 through 9 or 3, 6, 9. We're still in between categories. And what we're looking for is a multiple, which we just got right there. This is when you reassess and target the multiple. So you start over. We're going to build around this 9. So that is the strength of the hand. So with that 9, we have either 6, 7, 8, 9 or 3, 6, 9. So here's 3, 6, 9. Here's 3, 6, 9. Here's a 6. There's our 9 bam. We might be able to do 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 3 tiles we can pass for sure. 2 for sure. The 2 dot and the green dragon. Now we need one more tile. Otherwise we have all keepers in here. We're looking at the 9 bam. We could do, let's see, the 6 dot is kind of isolated from the other 2 suits. I would probably let that go. 3, 6, 9, although there is that 3, 6, 9 with 6s in the middle. Maybe we should keep that. 3, 6, 9, 6s in the middle, third hand from the bottom. So when you run out of discards, like here, we need to pick one. This is when you look at the card because you need to whittle out your options for what hand you might be playing. We could do 3, 6, 9 with 6s in the middle, third hand from the bottom. We could do 3, 6, 6, 9 first hand, cracks and bams. We could do 6, 7, let's see, 5. We have no 8 bam. So maybe we could let the 7 bam go here. We could still do 3, 6, 9. I'm thinking maybe the 7, 8 can go next. It looks like 3, 6, 9 is the strongest option. There's a 6, so that is confirmed at the moment, primarily because we have no 8 in bams. We could do, for example, 6 crack 7, 8 bam 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, but there's no 8 bam. Anytime you have a gap, you lower that on the option list, or really even just remove it as an option. If there's a gap and you have something else with no gaps, go for the option with no gaps. So we have, here's 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, pair 9 though. We don't need that 4 with a 9 bam pair. Let's see, we have 3, 6 crack, 6, 9 bam, no gaps, 2 multiples. We could do 3, 6, 9 with 6s in the middle. I think I would let the 8 crack go at this point. Oh, excellent, Mona. Okay, now there's a 6 bam, a 3 dot, and now we have a 5, a 7 that can go. We have all keepers. We need one discard. we have, oh, no, we have a 5 bam. So here's 3, 6, 9 in bams. We have a pair of 6 cracks and a 6. We could play that third hand from the bottom. Our pass right now is 2 5s and a 7. That is very risky because we do have a couple of hands with no gaps, but it's very shallow. If we played the third hand from the bottom, 3, 6, 9 with 6s in the middle, the pairs, that has great potential, but the 3 bam and the 9 bam need to be Kongs. So those are really shallow for where they need to grow. And so I would not take this level of risk in a pass. So I would pull that 5 back and I would let something else go. We could maybe play the concealed hand, 3, 6 dot, 3, 6 crack, 9 bam pair. We could maybe play 3, 6 crack, 6, 9 bam first hand, or that 3, 6, 9 with 6s in the middle, third hand from the bottom. Either way, we didn't use the 9 crack. I would just let the 9 crack go, or I would pass 1 blind. Let's pass 1 blind, because if we pass 5 bam, 7, 9 in 1 suit, that is risky too. So let's pass 1 blind. No keepers. So now we can pass fully 3 tiles. Okay, no keepers. So we have 3 discards and all the rest of the tiles are 3, 6, 9. I would say we probably have 4 discards with options. So that's quite a few discards, but we started with a wide spread. So I'm not surprised. And we do have at least 2 hands with no gaps. Actually, we have 3 hands with no gaps. We have a few weaknesses though, but we could play the first hand, 3, 6 in cracks, 6, 9 bam, 2 options. We could also play 3, 6, 9 with 6s in the middle, third hand from the bottom. And we could also play the concealed hand. So 4 discards with options. I'd say we'd probably be an underdog on this one until we get some keepers. Once we decide what hand we're playing, and if these multiples build, we could then maybe bump up to a different position. Okay, so let's do another one. And we'll take what we can get. We have a wide spread. So here's another opportunity to practice that idea. Okay, Mona, would you like to be on the hot seat? Do you see these tiles, Mona? Tell me after, well, first let me know if you want to be on the hot seat, which we're going to do next week, by the way, maybe if somebody signs up. We have east-south singles, 1, 3, 5, 8, 9 in bams, 1, 3, 9 in cracks, 3, 4, 7, 8 in dots. Anybody could just open up. Let's look for like numbers. We have 1s, 3s, and 8s. 1, 3, 8. So guess what your predominant pattern is? Okay, that's all right, Mona. It's little odds. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. Don't mean to put you on the spot there. 1, 3, 5 or 3, 4, 5. So I would let the big numbers go. I would pass a wind and then break up the 9s or break up the 8 here. 8, 9, odds. Yep, little odds, Wes says. Excellent, good job. All right, now though, we have filler tiles and consecutive run is far more flexible. So I would switch. Let's see, let's keep it on the edge here. 8, 9. We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, 3, 4. We have 1 through 4. It's a little bit wide of a range for mixed suits. So we're probably going to let the 5 go, I would say, and play either, let's say, actually, you know what we have here? Oh my gosh, we have a potential for the concealed little odd hand. 1, 3, 5 in bams with 3s. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Mona. Okay, so here's a 2. There's a new multiple though. Anytime a new multiple forms, you're going to reassess. So we have 2, 3, pair 2, and we have 2 pairs of 3s here. So let's see, we have 2, 3, 3, 4. The 7 can go. That's a multiple that that doesn't really fit in with the rest of your tiles. You just break it up. Don't think about joker bait during the Charleston. That is an encumbrance. So you want to let that go. The tactic with joker bait comes up in the begin game after East discards. You don't want to be strapped or really joker bait during the Charleston is like a ball and chain. It's going to, unless you have a whole lot of discards, it's going to keep you from passing defensively, and you can't even use that pair that you don't need until 60 tiles remaining, which is the halfway mark in the game. So it's not ideal during the Charleston. You want to mitigate risk and set yourself up for success with your own hand development. So we have 2, 3, bam, 3, 3. We need to let something go. I would not pass a pair. We still have little odds. The concealed hand, probably 1, 3, 5, bam, with 3s. I'm thinking that the 1 crack can go. 1 crack. And that still leaves us options for maybe playing the consecutive run category. We could do 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, pung, pung, kong, kong. Second hand from the bottom using bams and dots. But we could also maybe play 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 if we get a 2 crack. So let's just find out what we get here. Here's a 4 crack. Here's a 5 bam. So now we have 2 clear discards. We definitely want to keep going. If these were your tiles, would you be tempted to stop the Charleston? I would not recommend it. I would keep going. We have 2 discards and too many options. So I would whittle something out. We have multiple with our 5 bam, and we have two pairs of 3s. Because of that, I would focus on, actually, we have 3, 4, 3, 4, 5 concealed. I would probably break up the 2 bam, because we could play the concealed consecutive hand, or we can play the little odd concealed hand too. So I would break up the 2 bam. It's okay to break up a pair if you're leveraging other multiples in your hand. We could do 3, 4, 3, 4, 5 using cracks and dots for the 3, 4, and then the 5 bam is right there. We could also do 1, 3, 5, which is a little weaker because we don't have the pair of 3 bams yet. So let's see what we get. We got 1s. A 1 here. Here's a 1, a 2. Now look here. We have all 1 through 5. All keepers at the moment. It's a little wide. A little bit of a wide spread. I would let the 5 dot go, the 2 bam, and the 1 crack. So we could do now the concealed little odd hand, 1, 3, 5 bam with 3s. We could also do 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of an equal situation. I think the little odd hand, because it uses 4 multiples, even though we need a pair of 3 bams, is probably better. The 3, 4, 3, 4, 5 hand, we can use jokers because we have our pair of 5s. But the Charleston's not over yet. Okay, no keepers. Oh no, there's a 4. Okay, so now we have 3, 4 crack, 3, 4 dot, 5 bam. And we can use jokers. So I would break up probably the 3 bam and let this 1 bam go and focus on the concealed hand. Okay, interestingly, we did get a 1, 2, 1, 2 in cracks. Here's 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can pass 3 though. We've got the tiles. I would pass fully and see if we can bring in another 4 or 3 here. No. So we have, let's see, we have 5 discards in a hand with no gaps. 30-point hand. I would say we're an underdog, but if we get even, let's say 1 or 2 keepers, we could bump up to probably contender on this one. And we have our pair. All we need are the 3, 4 tiles and maybe jokers. Second hand in little odds. 1, 3, 3, 5 did have options. Let's go ahead and, hi Jill, by the way, let's replay with the same tiles and we'll try it. Okay, so let's try second hand down. We'll go ahead and pick a hand right away. Little odds, let's just focus on little odds overall and see if that hand would have had a better result. So just remember that we had the concealed hand with 5 discards, no gaps, and a couple of weaknesses, 2 weaknesses. So we're going to let a wind go. We'll break up a 9 and an 8. Okay, so wind can go, and we're going to break up the like numbers so we're not stuck with like numbers. So let's see, we have a 7 there. Actually, let's see, 7. Let's let the 7 crack and a 4 dot go. Okay, here we go. So here's a 5 bam. We'll keep it. Let's let the south go, break up the 9, and let's pass, let's say, an 8. 8, 9. You know what we could do is pass a 9 with a 2. How about that? All right, we got a 3 dot, so we'll keep it. We'll continue south with, let's say, a 9 and a 6. Okay, we have a 5 dot. There's that 1, 3, 5 hand. We'll break up the 8 and pass, or the 7 and pass the 8. Okay, here's a 3 crack. So now we have, let's say, 7.4 with a dragon. Although, let's see, we have a 5 dot pair. Yeah, that red dragon won't be helpful. I was thinking that maybe we could do the dragon hand, second one from the bottom, but that's one red dragon. Okay, so we definitely have tiles we can pass fully here. So let's do 9 with a 4, 2, 9, 4. And we ended up here with 4 discards and options. We could do 1, 3 crack with 3, 5 bam, second hand down. We could do 1, 3 bam, 3, 5 dot. So we have 4 discards with options with the second hand down. I think if this were me, I would play the concealed hand. 1, 3 bam, 1, 3, 5 with 3s. So that would mean that we would let the 1 crack and the 5 dot go. So that means we have 6 discards and a hand with no gaps. So this result is not as good as consecutive run that we just did. Consecutive run had a better result. But there's something to be said about beauty in the eye of the beholder. There's really no right or wrong. It's really more about good, better, best. The consecutive run with 3, 4, 5 was the best choice for these tiles. This could still be doable. We could play this out and probably do well. The other result, comparing discards, was better. So let's go ahead and play now with robots, and let's see how we do. What did you think about those results, Jill? A lot of times it's just a matter of leveraging strength, really. Leverage the strength and make a choice. Because sometimes you can do several things with a particular set of tiles. All right, so we have now jokers, a pair of flowers, green and red with a pair of red, 1, 5, 7 in bams, 3, 6, 9 in cracks, and a 6 dot. With the pair of red dragons, my first thought was, what about 3, 6, 9? But the dragons there are in the second hand from the bottom opposite, so we wouldn't be able to leverage the cracks. We could maybe try for the 6, 9 hand with dragons. It's not quite gelling really. And with the pair of flowers, I'd almost consider playing that second hand down under winds and dragons, but we have a gap, no white dragon. So I would keep my options open here. Let's see, we have a 6 crack and a 6 dot. We clearly don't need a 1 bam. That can go. And I think the 7 bam can go. And now we just need to make a choice. We do have 3, 6, 9 and 1 suit. That would be the second or third hand down under 3, 6, 9. There's no gaps there. I don't think I would pass 1, 5, 7. I think that would be really risky. Since we have no white dragon, I would probably let the green dragon go. But then this 1, 7 dragon, that would be super risky. So what I would probably do here is, let's see, I think I would focus on either 3, 6, 9 or like numbers with 6s. And I'd probably even break up that dragon. Oh, this was a tough one. We could maybe keep that dragon and let the 6 dot go. Let's see what happens. All right, we got a 3 crack. So I think that was good. We might be able to do like numbers with 3s. So let's see, 3, 6, 9, like numbers with 3s. We really don't need these dragons at the moment. If we pass 4, 5 dragon, that is super risky. I would probably let something go here. And I probably would not pass like 2 dragons. That's almost as risky as passing a pair, in my opinion, almost. 2 dragons, 2 wins, like numbers, those are all equally risky and very close to passing a pair. So I would let something go. We actually have a hand in here with no gaps. 3, 6, 9 and 1 suit. So I'd probably let the 3 dot go. All right, now we have 2, 4, 5, 9 bam. So I would probably keep the 9 bam and pass, let's say 2, 5, and I would at this point let the dragon go. It's just a hint. It's actually hindering our ability to proceed. This would be that encumbrance with joker bait. Even though I didn't define it as joker bait, that is a pair we don't need, and it's keeping us from passing safely. So for example, if we kept that red dragon and maybe thought, oh, I'll use it as joker bait and then pass it 2, 4, 5, that would be super risky. So I would let the dragon go. Just break it up and then see if we can get a keeper in here. What would be ideal would be to get, let's say, 6 crack, 9 crack, or maybe a 9 dot for the second hand down. We do have an extra 3 crack. So let's just see what happens. Jill said, cautious about concealed hand because you can't pick up. Yep, you've got to draw well. But really, you got to draw well even when you're playing an exposable hand. You still have to be able to draw your tiles. So I think that holds true regardless of the type of hand you're playing, just maybe a little bit more. So you have to draw really well and keep your eye on joker exchange potential. But that applies regardless, really. Okay, you're welcome, Mona. Okay, so now here we go. Let's pass. Okay, so we have a 5. I would just keep my eyes open on the trend here. We have 3, 5, 6, which is really not very helpful. 3 crack pair without a 1 or a 4, not helpful. So I would just let these all go here. 8, 5, let's say with a 7. Oh, you know what? We could maybe do 4, 7 dragon and be left with a 5 and an 8 for later. Okay, now that might be helpful. 2, 3. We have a wind, an 8, and a dragon. Now, hold on. Hold the phone. We could do 3, 6, 9 dragon now. There is potential there. Let's let the 5 crack go. 3, 6, 9 dragon, second hand from the bottom. That one looks pretty darn good. I would say we could focus on that. There's the dragon. We did get a 6 back. I think I would let the 2 crack go for sure and the 7. Those are 2 clear discards. So we need to pick one more. 3, 6, 9 dragon, second hand from the bottom. This hand is set. If we use the jokers, 1 for the flower, we can Kong. We've got a pair of 3s. We need a pair of 6s. That's the weakness. then we could pung the 9 and the dragon. So I don't think it really matters. Let's let the 9 bam go. We're ready to go. So, oh, now we get a pass again. 3. Let's see here. Let's put a 5 in there. Let's break that out though too and put a 6. I don't want to pass all evens. Okay, so, oh, look, we ended up with a joker bait right there. Now is when you can consider joker bait. So we have 2 discards with joker bait and a hand with no gaps. I would say we're a front runner on this one. Our hand is even set. What I call set is when you can claim a discard for each block. We can Kong the flowers with the joker. We can pung the 9 crack with a joker, and we can pung the green as it is and be ready to win on a 6. We have a pair we don't need with the 4 man. We're going to try to get it to 60 tiles because that's the sweet spot for joker exchange. I'm going to turn on the light real quick because it's kind of stormy today. Okay, so hopefully you can see me a little bit better now. All right, here we go. Let's discard. So we're looking for a flower, a 9 crack, and a green dragon. And I would call every one of these because we're a front runner. We can take on the risk of someone taking our joker. When you have a strong hand development or a really big transformation and a strong potential to win, you can take on risk more so than if you have a lot of discards. So here, we're a front runner and we can play with risk. We can take risks. There it is. Let's call. We'll discard the 7. Now we have two discards. That's our tile. We got to keep an eye on that. Okay, so let's let the 6 go. We need the 9 crack and a dragon. We're playing the second hand from the bottom under 369. Okay, we're going into the middle game now. This is the 3rd wall. I'd still say we're a front runner. Oh, that's our second tile. We may need to switch. If we did have to switch, I'd probably switch to like numbers with 3s. Or we could do 3, 4, 5 mixed suit Kongs. No, we have a Kong of flowers out. So we're fairly committed to we are committed to a Kong of flower, a hand with a Kong of flowers. Joker. Okay, here we go. So we can use this in here. We have 1 discard. A little bit risky. Nobody wants the 2. We're looking for a green dragon or a 9 crack.
West, east, 7.
Nobody's playing wins. Where's our 9 crack? 3 dot. Let's keep it. That could help us with a plan B if our 6 crack goes down. That's our pair tile. We'll call pung. And now we'll discard the 3. And we're ready to win on a 6 crack. Last one. We don't know where it is though. Joker. We don't need it. That would be a red flag. Oh, we're in the end game. Joker. Oh, 5. Where's our 6? Crack. We want a 6. You know, we could call that and try for a pure hand, but with 12 tiles remaining, I would rather just not spook the table and pung and then discard a joker. Right now, we could be playing maybe like numbers with 9s. So if we keep our exposures to our, keep our hand to ourselves, we could go semi stealth mode here. I would ignore this. I'm hoping someone will discard the six crack, unless I missed it, which I could have. It happens. Oh, okay. There it is right here. The player to our right held it. And they have a crap hand. So I think they were maybe trying for like numbers with 4s or 3s. They held on to our 6 crack. But we got ready to win. So I think that was a great result. So let's do it again. Okay, Wes is asking, is there a rule of thumb about keeping jokers and discarding natural tiles to disguise the hand? There's not really a rule of thumb per se. It's really more about what is happening at the table, where you are in the game, as far as, for example, how many tiles are remaining and how many of your tiles are out. If you want to keep your progress on the down low, don't discard a joker, discard a natural tile. However, if that natural tile is a potential winning tile for another player, you could discard the joker. So it really is situational. It just depends on the exposures that are out, the discards that are out, how many tiles are left for picking, how many exposures you have. Like in this case, if we had claimed that joke or that dragon and discarded the joker, that could have forced somebody to fold and keep our tiles. With 3 exposures, they're going to know exactly what hand we're playing. In this case, we're in between like numbers with 9s and the 3-6-9 hand. So we kept them guessing. I mean, we're playing with robots, but if I were playing with people, I probably would have done the same thing, because I wouldn't want to spook the table, is the way I call it. Just if you throw away something that is going to be a red flag to anybody paying attention, that could spook them into a fold, in which case they would then scrutinize every one of your pick and discards and try to block you from winning. So as not to create that situation by discarding a joker, you can bluff your opponents, basically, because they're going to think maybe you're still doing hand development. If you discard a joker, that is an indicator that you're waiting on a pair or a single tile to win. If you discard before the 3rd wall, or maybe the early part, I meant 4th wall, sorry. In the early part of the 4th wall, if you discard a joker, then that could mean that you're trying for a pure hand, or maybe you have a pair hand. But if you discard a joker like in the last 3 or 4 picks, that is an indicator that you fold. So it really is just very situational. I hope that helps. Okay, so now this almost looks like the hand we just played. We've got dragons and a pair of flowers. That's really weird. We have like numbers with 4s in here. We do have a 6-8 dragon here. The 6-8 dragon hand in evens does not use flowers. I would rather use the flower. Maybe we could play news with dragons. We also have like numbers with 1s. I would probably let the 5 and the 6 go with that 8. And maybe do either like numbers with 1s, like numbers with 4s, or maybe news with dragons. Okay, so we've got 1s. So then we keep the 1s and we let the 4s go. And then at this point, because we have a pair of 1s, I'd probably let that, oh, no, I would keep the north. I would let the dragons go because I'm not passing like numbers. I would not pass like numbers. I would probably break up the dragon and go with 1s because we could play either the first hand or like numbers with news and leverage the pair of flowers. So we're using the flowers and the 1 dot as our deciding tiles. Those are the 2 multiples that are driving the hand. Okay, so we have 5s, a 3. There's some little odds in here. Let's just tuck them in real quick just to see the trend here. We can let the 4 go with a red, and this is first left, so we want to remember, if we can, what we're passing. We have a 4 bam and a red dragon. We have like numbers with 1s, maybe with news, pair of flowers, which is good. 1, 3 crack, really not helpful. Let's let the 5 dot go. I would say the 3 crack and the 5 can go next. Okay, there's an east. Looking better. So now we gave them a dragon and a 4 and a 5 dot. So let's give them a 9, an 8, and a 3. That's the best we can do, and that's okay. We got a 1. And now we have 5s. Okay, so let's look at the clear discards. So we have green dragon, 5 dot. Now we have to make a choice. We can either do news with 1s and let the 1 crack go, or we can do like numbers with 1s, keep the 1 crack and let a wind go. We have a pair of flowers. We need a Kong if we play the first hand. I wouldn't pass like numbers in this case. That would be super risky, especially with a green dragon. So we have to make a choice between a wind and a 1. I think I'd rather keep the 1 because we could still gather wins. Okay, so now we have discards. That's a little bit risky, but I would risk it. All right, seems nobody wanted the 5. We can pass these. We got the east back. So now we're not worse for the wear. We have 2 discards plus joker bait and 1 of 2 hands with no, well, we technically don't have any gaps. What we have here with news is a weakness because that is a block of 4 singles and we have 2 of them. We're halfway to news. I call that a weakness, not a gap. So we have 2 hands with no gaps, weaknesses though, that we need to think about, but we have 2 discards with joker bait. So I'd say we're probably a contender. It'd be really nice to get a couple of discards in the first wall here. So 99 tiles remaining until we get to 81. We're going to be looking for keepers, hopefully. And that'll confirm if we're a front runner or if we need to step back and maybe consider ourselves an underdog. Right now we have 2 pair we don't need. We have an east pair now. That's not helpful. I would let it go. A pung of 8s. Okay, so that really does not make good joker bait. I would let it go. Nobody wanted it, by the way. So then I would just continue to let that go. Here's a 2. I would just keep my eye on that. 1, 2. Here, we could commit to the first hand. This is the first one out. Because we could pung, we need 2 pungs and a Kong, I would let this go. And then maybe reconsider if another 1 goes down. So I would wait. Let's let the 8 dot go. So there's that joker's locked in, I think. No, we have 8 bam and an 8 crack. So that joker is available. We need that west. We're good there. Don't need 9. Winds are going down. So we may be the only one who needs news. Okay, now here we have to make a choice. And I probably would pung. I'd probably dig in. We're at 68 tiles remaining. It's really good if you can know what hand you're playing by the middle of the game, because if you straddle too long, you could miss out on your strongest option. We have no gaps with the first hand under like numbers, so I would call at this point. So then I would hold the 5s for maybe 2 more picks. And because there's a 9 out and an 8, I would let the 7 go. And then I would let these wins go probably at this point, because we can't use them with a pung of 1s. We could call that 2. Might as well. It's pure. And now we have 2 pungs of 1s. So everyone's going to know what we're playing with 2 pungs of 1s. Okay, nobody wanted the 5 bam, so that'll be just discard, just regular discards. Okay, so we have a pung of 9s with a Kong of red. With that, they're probably playing 9s with dragons under 369. 4th hand down, 9s with dragons. I think that's the only thing it can be with a Kong of 9s. Let's see, 9 pung. They could be doing actually the 5th hand down under consecutive run. 6, 7, 8, 9, pair, pung, Kong. They could be playing that hand too. So 5th hand down, consecutive run, player across from us, or maybe second hand from, 4th hand down under 369. They got Mahjong. That's the 3 maps, but it was weak. We needed a Kong of flowers and a Kong of 1s, so we had to build. Jokers are nice, obviously. You see these robots with jokers. Jokers do help, and we got some this time. 3. Okay, so now we have a white dragon, 1 bam pair, 2, 6, 7, 9, 1 crack, 5, and an 8 dot. So whatever we do, I would try to use that 1 bam pair. We could maybe do something consecutive. We could maybe do like numbers. We could maybe do little odds if we get 3s. And I would stop there and probably pass 6, 9, 8 dot. Okay, so we've got now a dragon here. Oops, let's just put that there. All right, we have maybe like numbers with 1s and dragons. We've got a gap, no 1 dot, but that's okay because we do have jokers. Now, when you have a multiple and a bunch of jokers, like here we have 3, you could consider maybe playing a quint. It's a bit risky though, unless you have a big multiple, like a pung. So I typically don't think about playing quints unless I have a big multiple. Like if that one bam were a pung, then I would maybe consider playing like the second quint, for example. We have no flowers, so the first one is out and the fourth one is out. We have no 2 crack. We could do 1 2 1 2. So we're kind of in between. If we do play a quint, I suppose we could keep that south. So let's pass 5 6 7. Little bit risky. No keepers. We could still play like numbers with ones and dragons. Let's see. Yeah, we need multiples to help us with a quint. We really don't have them. Let's see here. 8 can go, 2 wins, a 2. Let's see. We should keep going for sure. Without a 1 dot, the dragons are useless. I would let that go. And then the next thing I would think about is probably think about the quint. We don't have the right tiles with the 1 bam though, because it needs to be an offsuit quint, but we do have options. And also if we do happen to get a flower, we could maybe play the news like number hand. It just keeps coming in. I think what I would do here is let one of the wins go. I would not pass 2 dragons. Okay, so now we got the 2 bam. So I would focus on 1 2 1 2 quint, and probably, you know what we could do now? Look, we could play, let's see here, let the wins go. We could play 1 2 3 4 dragon. We don't have a 3 bam, but we've got the pairs 1 2 3 4 dragon. We would need to Kong. It's super weak and it is a gap. So then we have to think to ourselves, would I risk passing north and south with a white dragon? There is some potential in here for the news, like year hand right there. Let's let that green dragon go. So news, north and south, no, I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't pass 2 dragons either. I would let the 4 go since we have no 3. And then I'd probably let the white dragon go because it doesn't correspond to the 4. So I'd probably play a gap hand, 1 2 1 2 quint. This is pretty risky. All right, the other thing we could do is maybe look for another multiple with the south and that 1 bam. Let's see here. Let's pass the 8 with a 5. Okay, so here's an east with 9s. Let's see. I would just pass fully. Oops, no. There we go. Let's see what we get. Okay, so interesting. We got the green dragon and the 4 back. So now we have some potential for the 5th hand down under consecutive run, or maybe that 3rd quint. So let's just see what happens. We have 4 discards and we're in between categories. So I'd say we're probably an underdog because we have technically 5 discards at the moment. Green dragon. We still have a gap, no 3, but that green dragon, we're 1 away from set. So I'd give up on the quint. So 1 2 pair, pung 3 bam, pung 4 Kong dragon. Pair pung Kong. We need a 3 bam in here. So we're playing a gap hand, which is okay. It's not ideal, but you can make it work with jokers. Okay, now here's joker bait, 5 crack. That's our tile. We can let it go. It's the first one. If it goes down again, we should pung. That would mean that we're not playing a gap hand anymore. So we're going to call and pung. Now what we need in here would be a 4 bam or a green dragon. Let's let the 5 go. I'd say we bump up to front runner. We're still in the first wall before 80 tiles. That's the first or the second wall, because the first wall went away with the deal. The second wall, which is where we are now, we have 2 discards, and we might even be able to get a joker out of it. We have a hand now with no gaps, so I'd say we're a front runner. We went from an underdog to a front runner. And that just means we can take on risk. So let's call. Okay, that's our tile, but we can use jokers. And we have our pairs, which is awesome.
5 right. 5 right.
So we can risk these jokers. We only need one good pick.
1 dot.
And it can be a joker. I'm hoping we'll get one of our jokers. Oh, we're in the middle game now. Third wall. Joker. All right, so we're ready to win at 70 tiles, which is fantastic. That is awesome. And someone threw a 4, or there's 2 4 bams out. Nobody wants the 4 bams, so we can expect that it will be discarded, or we can draw it from the wall, or we can draw a joker, or do a joker exchange. So there's one more 4 bam. Oh, I'm surprised one of these robots didn't go for that flower. Okay, so one of the jokers is gone. We have 2 up for grabs. There's one now. Let's see. No, that's locked in. It's right here. So one joker up for grabs. We keep getting flowers. You still got to draw your tiles. Oh, darn. Okay, so we had another front runner. 2 4 6 8 Kong 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 Kong. Very good. We needed the 4 bam. It was in the wall. Let's play again. All right, we have another widespread here. So we, in our head, say what we have to try to identify a predominant pattern. So we have north, red, white, 6 7 bam, 2 3 6 7 in cracks, 4 6 7 in dots, 6 7 like numbers, 6s and 7s. So we play either like numbers with 6s, like numbers with 7s, or some kind of 6 7. We could do maybe 4 5 6 7, or 5 6 7 8, 6 7 8 9. I would start there, and then probably let the 3 crack go with a white dragon. Although we do have potential for like numbers. Without a 5, this 4 dot is risky, or it's not risky, sorry, it's useless. So here we could do like numbers with 6s or 7s with dragons. Okay, so here we go. No worries, Mona. It's a great learning. Okay, now there's a 6. So I would focus on 6s. Here's a dragon. We have one clear discard. So now we have to make a choice. We have 6 crack pair. I was thinking maybe we could do 6 7 6 7 concealed, but the 8 crack goes with the 6 crack pair, so that's not helpful. I would let the 8 go, and then probably a 7, and I would focus on 6s. 6s. Now, with these dragons, though, we really could let one of them go and keep the 7s, because we have a 6 crack pair. No, let's focus on the 6s. If we get an 8 dot, we could maybe play the concealed consecutive hand. Okay, so we've got 3s. They gave us like numbers. So we're going to break them up, and we'll let's say the 7 go. All right, now we have 369 potential in here. 369. We don't need the 7. We have 2 wins. We've got dragons. May or may not need those. We could do 369 with 6s in the middle, third hand from the bottom. There's no gaps for that. I think what I would do here is probably let a dragon go with a wind and the 7. If we played like numbers with 6s, we only need 2 dragons. Okay, so here's a 3 for 369. We have tiles we can pass. We got another 3 for 369. There's a dragon. We have 1 clear discard. And then we have all keepers at the moment. Maybe not so much the dragons, though. South red can go. We have 3s with 6s. I'd probably let this 3 crack go and keep the dragon maybe for joker bait and play 369 with 6s in the middle. It's a little bit weak with our 6s. Let's see here. 3 band pair. I would leverage that because we do have some potential still for 6s with dragons. But either way, you know what we could do is pass 1 blind and then play either 369 with 6s in the middle or like numbers with 6s and dragons. Either way, we would have joker bait. So let's pass 1 blind. No keepers. So we'll pass 2 with that same idea.
So,
okay, so we have 9 dot. Now we have potential for the concealed hand. I'd say that was an excellent Charleston. I'd say that we're probably a contender here because we could do the concealed hand now. 3-6 band, 3-6 crack, 9 dot pair. Use the green dragon as joker bait. We could still do 3-6-9 with 6s in the middle. Use the green dragon as joker bait. We could still do 3-6 or like numbers with 6s and dragons and use the 3 as joker bait. So we've got lots of options here. And we started with a wide spread. 6 dot. So now I would take the concealed hand off the table because we'd have to throw away a pair. I would say so then this 9 dot then can go. We could play like numbers with 6s and dragons. We could play 3-6-9 with 6s in the middle. So I'd let this 3 crack go. So 3 band, 6 band pair, 9 band, and then pairs of 6s right here. Or we could maybe do, depending on what we draw, like numbers with 6s. We have 1 discard before we have to pick a hand. So we really don't need to pick a hand till we run out of discards, and we have 1 at the moment. We can only call the 3 crack or 3 band if we decide to play 3-6-9 with 6s in the middle. Joker. There's our discard. Okay, so now we're at this place where we need to make a choice. Now let's just look at the 3-6-9 hand. I mean, not the 3-6-9, but like numbers. So if we played like numbers with 6s, we have a weakness, the 6 band. That needs to be a pair. We could Kong the 6 dot and pung both dragons with the jokers and then be ready on the 6. The 6 crack pairs in hand. So we would use the 3 band as joker bait. We'd have 1 discard. We're still a front runner. The other idea would be to use the green dragon as joker bait, discard the red dragon, and play 3-6-9 with 6s as pairs. We can Kong the 3 band. We can't do anything with the 9 band yet, but we have joker bait. So by going through that exercise, I would say like numbers with sixes is stronger because we're set. We can claim discards for the sixes and the for the 6 dot and the dragons. So I would probably play like numbers with sixes. Even though there's a bit of a weakness, we can use the joker to help us get there quick enough to be ready to win on a 6-band pair. Pair weight is not ideal. I realize that, but let's just see how it goes. That is a pair for us, so we're going to let it go. Now we have a white dragon though, so now we can Kong that. Actually, you know what we could do? Let's see here. Let's see, we're going to reassess. 3, 6, 9. Oh, we got the white dragon. No, let's let the 9-band go. Okay, so now we have an option. We've got all the dragons, one of each dragon, I should say. We've got 2 pair. So we could pung. We've got a pair green. So really, I think we're in the same situation. I think the white dragon would be a discard because we still need to Kong. We need a little more help in here, but I'd like to try not to be waiting on a pair is what I'm working through in my head. So for example, if we use, let's say, the 6 dot as our Kong or our pair, if we can get a white dragon or a red, or let's say we get a white dragon, then we can use the joker for the, let's see here. Either way, I think it's going to be a challenge. All right, let's just keep going. We could just talk. Okay, now here we go. This is where we have to make a choice. So this is where I was thinking we should go ahead and Kong, because we could pung the dragons at this point here. Let's see. Kong. Or we can let that go and use that as our pair and then maybe pung the white. There's one white dragon out though. I would Kong here because we don't know who's got white dragons. Someone could be playing a dragon hand or a year hand. All right, so now we can pung the red, pung the dragon, the red and green dragons, and be waiting on a pair. I was really trying to work it out to where we're not waiting on a pair, but it's just not going to happen. So it's a little bit risky. It's a weak wait is what that is called. So it's a bit risky, and this is why, because we're not ready. We're not ready to Mahjong, and there goes our pair tile. But there's 2 more. Thankfully, nobody wanted that. Now here's the South. I still say we're a front runner, so I would risk it. We're in the middle game, just entered. I would throw it. No surprise there. That's our pair. We're good. North, Joker. Okay, so now we're in a much better position now here. We still have 1 discard though, so we're still vulnerable. There's our tile. All right, so now we're ready on what's called a double weight. We can win on either joker or either dragon. And we could even do it with a joker. So we ended up in a really strong position, and we're not in the middle of the game yet. So ready to win on a green or a red dragon. There it is, Mahjong. Woo! We got it. Like numbers with dragons. Like numbers with dragons. That was an interesting hand. We have like numbers with 1s to the left. They're playing news with like numbers. Across from us, 7, 8, 9 mixed suit Kongs, 3rd hand down on the right. To the right, north and south with 1, 2. 1, 2. They had work to do there. Okay, we have 2 pair, 2s. Thank you for the kudos. 2s and 4s, 2, 4. So now you might think to yourself, 2, 4, those are evens, but we have no 6 and we have no 8. Those are gaps, 2 gaps. So we're not going to play evens. We're going to go for consecutive run, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 of some kind. We have, let's see here, we have a joker at East, green. Really, the green is not helpful. And the one without a 2, also not helpful. And then we can let a 7 go. So by process of elimination, there's a great pass. Okay, keeper, maybe, 3 crack. So let's divide out those suited tiles there. East, 6, 7. We have 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Not quite gelling yet, but that's okay. Oh, there's a corresponding dragon. This is a little bit risky here. 7, 8, 9 mixed suits. That's okay. We got to focus on our own hand first. We maybe could make that a little bit better by, let's say, keeping the 8 dot and letting the dragon go like that. Or maybe that might be better. With the 3, 4 in a dragon, the only way that's going to be helpful is if we get other consecutive tiles in cracks, and those are gaps. And even still, 2, 4, 6, 8 with no 6, that 8 is not helpful. And we have a pair of 3s. Now we have a 2 and another 2. We have two clear discards, which is good. So now we make a choice. We have 2, 3, 4. We have 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 concealed. I would let the 2 dot go here. So we could do 2, 3 bam, 2, 3 crack, 4 dot. Or we could do 2, 3, 4 crack with a flower. Third hand down on the right. So it's just going to depend on what we get in this next couple passes. We ended up getting the dragon, but without a 1 or a 5, that's not helpful. And I would rather pass fully. Okay, no keepers, and I would pass fully. This is a little bit risky, but we've got 2, 3, 4, a couple of ways. We picked up a 5. That's nice. 2, 3, 4, 5 of some kind, really. We did end up with some evens, but we'd have to throw away a pair of 3s. I would focus on 2 through 5 and see how it develops. And I probably wouldn't pick a hand at the moment. I think the concealed hand probably has the best potential. 2, 3 crack, 2, 3 bam, 4 dot pair. So this 4 dot pair is the weakness, really, because we can use jokers for the rest. The other thing we could do is 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, 5 with a pair of flowers. That would be the 1 suit hand under consecutive run, third hand down. Okay, so now dragon. That's an interesting pick because we could maybe now do the second hand down. 2, 3 crack, green dragon Kong, and then 4, 5. So there's some potential there. We have really 1 discard at the moment. Well, no, we really have no discards at the moment and several hands that we could potentially play. So we're just going to take it pick by pick. We can only call for 1 of these blocks. So I would just wait and see and take it pick by pick. Discard by discard. Nope, still don't have to pick a hand. Okay, so now we have the red dragon. We could do 2, 3, 4, 5 dragon. Let's see, since we don't have the pairs with 2, 5 for the second hand down, I think I would let the green dragon go. Because now we can maybe play the fifth hand down and we have one of our pair, the 3 crack. We could still maybe play the concealed hand. We don't need to call that at all. Even though we could pung, we're considering the concealed hand, so that's not gonna work. That's our pair tile if we play the concealed hand. Okay, now that's an interesting tile. So we're just gonna reassess here. 4, 5 in dots, 2, 3 in bams, 2, 3 in cracks, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 dragon, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5 with the flower. We could do 2, 3 bam, 2, 3 crack, 4 dot. I think the 5 dot is too weak. If we played pung, pung, kong, kong, we would need that to be a kong. The 4 would need to be a kong, and there's 1 out. So I would let the 5 dot go. It's just too weak, and we have other options that are stronger. This is a good exercise for this with these tiles. Okay, that would be our tile for a kong. We're not ready, so we have to let it go. There's our pair tile for the concealed hand. Now we have a 1 crack, 1 through 5. I would let the 4 dot go because that is a vulnerability. We've got 2 out. We need a pair for 2, 3, 2, 3. I would probably focus on 1 suit options. And at this point, we could consider, let's see, how many 1 bams are out? None. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4th hand down. So we don't need to pick a discard yet. We can stay where we are. We have all keepers at the moment. I would say we're a contender, depending on, well, maybe an underdog until we pick a hand, because right now we're in between several. So let's just see what we get. Here's a 1 bam, though. That might have been a single tile for the 4th hand down. Now we have to decide. This would be a kong for us if we play the dragon hand. We could also maybe play the first hand 1 through 5, and the 2, 4 would be pairs. We could also maybe play 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5, pair, pair, pung, pung, kong. There's a red dragon out, so I would not probably play the dragon hand. I probably would consider the first hand or the pung, pung, kong, kong hand and kong. Let's see. I think our options are better for the first hand. And keep that for the pair. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would be pung 1, pair 2, none are out. Kong 3, pair 4, pung 5. So we can maybe use the joker to help us there, but we can also maybe delay a decision and play, let's say 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5. We could even kong. We're just at this place where we have to make a choice. I would probably let the dragon go. Either way, we need to choose either the first hand or the second hand from the bottom on the left, pung, pung, kong, kong. Since that's a hand of least resistance, let's kong. So we're going to play the second hand from the bottom. And that's primarily because we don't know where the 2 crack is. That's a pair for us if we played the first hand. And we have a weak 1 and a weak 5. At least here, we can gather and try to obtain jokers. Right now, there are 3 out, and play the hand of least resistance. So with a kong, we could even still play 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5. So maybe hold the flower for a while and let the red dragon go. So they got the joker, which is fine. There are still 2 more up for grabs. That's our tile, and we could pung, and I would, because we do have no gaps for 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do it. So now we don't need the flower. The 2 band is joker bait. We can let that go in 2 picks. We got the 1. That's also joker bait because we're doing 2, 3, 4, 5. We can ignore. So now that is a discard because nobody wanted it. Joker. Okay, so we can pung the 2 crack. We need help with our 5. Big time. But we can use jokers. We need to let this 2 bam go. Oh, nobody took it. So much for joker beat. It's hit or miss. That was a miss. Okay, so still 1 joker's up for grabs. Oh, I should. Well, I'm glad I did that now. I should have let the 1s go. That might have gotten us a joker later, but it's getting late. We're at 47 tiles now. We're going into the end game. That's risky. 2 jokers. How many are out? Okay. Both of those jokers are up for grabs. So we have 4 jokers up for grabs right now. Oh, now this 4 dot is going to be, oh, no. 3 are out. That 4 dot should be safe. Okay, so someone got the 5 bam. That's fine. That was our tile, but we're not ready. Oh, we got a joker. Okay, 2 jokers still up for grabs. No one needs that 4 dot. No one needs the 1 crack either. Okay, now 7 crack. 1 is out. A little bit risky. Okay, now this player has no jokers visible. So that joker exchange was risky because now they could win on a pure hand. Whether they have a pure, they win with a pure Kong, we don't know that yet. But when you're playing and someone has 1 joker visible, leave it visible because you could give them a pure hand, which will double the value of their hand. Okay, here we can call, and I would. So we have 3 jokers up for grabs. No, 2, because there's a 5 crack out. Okay, 6 crack. That is a risky tile right there. That's 6 crack. I'll bet you this player to our right wants that tile. And it could be a pure hand. Huh. We're sitting on a hot tile. They have a gap hand. They don't even have it. They've got jokers. They're playing a gap hand. Darn it. Well, we didn't hurt ourselves though, because we still didn't have a 2. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9. They won. All right, we should be able to squeeze in 1 more game. Okay, now we have here a pair of East with a pair of 4s. So without other wins, the East really is not helpful unless we force a quint, but we have no jokers. I wouldn't do that. I would let the big number go and I would focus on the 4. Here's 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 of some kind. 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would break up the East and let the 1 go, or this 1 dot. Okay, so now there's a west. It does change things a little bit. Here's 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one can go. We have east and west. I would probably let the dragon go. And then I would let either the 2 or the 6 go. Probably the 2 dot. That's a little bit risky, but we need to focus on our own hand first. Okay, we got a 4 dot. Oh, here's a 6. Okay, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. We have a hand concealed. Pair in hand, 4, 5, 4, 5. There's a hand right there. So I would let let's see, we have 4s. We have no flowers, so I wouldn't think about playing like numbers with news. Third hand down, no flowers, that's a gap. I'd break that up and let the 3 go. So we're playing 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's an interesting tile. In this case, it's really not very helpful. We have 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, no gaps. We have no 3, so we can't do 3, 4, 5, 6 and leverage that pung. I would just let the 5 go and focus on 4, 5, 4, 5, 6 conceal. And these won't be helpful. Maybe let the dragon go. We got a keeper. And we have tiles we can pass. Let's see, we can maybe make that a little bit better even. We have 4, 5 bam, 4, 5 dot, 6 crack pair. Okay, we have tiles we can pass. And I would not pass like numbers. We got a keeper. 3 discards, so we're a contender. 3 discards. No, we're a front runner. We're playing a concealed hand, so drawing is going to be crucial to making this work. But we can use jokers. So let's let the wind go first. We have our pair, so no fear. No fear. Okay, 3. I would keep it just for a little bit. It's in our range, 3, 4. You want 4 numbers in a range around your multiples. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though we have a hand with no gaps, I'd still focus on that concealed hand, but still leave my options open. So no one wanted that 6, so we can let that go. Oh, there's a flower. So what can we do with a flower? We have a 4 bam pung. 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. Kongs. Mixed Kongs. 4 bam, 5 dot, 6 crack. Third hand down. 8. I think we're still better off with the concealed hand, especially now because we got a keeper. So I would let the flower go. We have 2 discards. And we're now going into the middle. We're in the middle game now. I'd say we're a front runner here. 3, 3, 7. We're concealed, so we're going to have to draw. 9, 8, 7. Nobody wants these tiles. Okay, so we're looking for 5 bam, 4, 5 dot. Jokers would be nice. Not necessary, but nice. Nobody wanted the 7. We're at the middle of the game now. Pure pung. We got pure pungs. We do not want to hold on to the white dragon. Okay. Now we're supposed to get 1.6 jokers from the wall. There's one of our tiles, but we're concealed. We're concealed. We're concealed. Oh my gosh. Onslaught. Oh my goodness. And then we keep getting flowers. What in the HE double hockey sticks? Oh my gosh. Our tiles are going down hard. We can use jokers though. No worries. Okay, I'd say we should maybe consider ourselves a contender now. We need jokers. Okay, we got pungs over there. Got like numbers with ones across from us. Oh, our tiles. Our poor tiles. Okay, 3 crack. This should be fine. Where's our joker? We're supposed to get 1.6. Wah. Oh, we missed that joker exchange. Darn it. There's a joker up for grabs. So the 9 dot, is that up? Yes. And someone else got it. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Okay, now red dragon. Okay, now this is going to be risky. I bet they're doing 2, 3, 4, 5. How many 3 cracks are out? 3. So they can't be doing that. All the 3s are out. I'm going to throw it. Oh, they discarded on something else. They picked it. They have 4, 5, 6, 7. That's one reason why. Well, no, they weren't in our business. All right. So we had a really good chance of winning that one, but they were also a front runner, which can happen. Looks like we can squeeze in one more game. All right. So we have a pair of 6s and a pair of flowers. Pair of 6s, pair of flowers. We have a half of news. So we have some like numbers in there. We also have 5, 6 in here, but with a pair of flowers, I'd rather use that. Could we do 3, 4, 5 with 6s? This is a little risky right there. I think I would, let one of these go here and see if we could do maybe the quintan or like numbers with 6s and news. There's a 6. Here's a west, but we really don't need that. Let's pass one of each suit. East. Awesome. And we have tiles we can pass. That's a great pass right there. Okay, 6. That's a keeper. We're going to keep going. It's going to get a little bit tight right here. No keepers. We got through unscathed. Okay, we need a north and a 6. Let's see if we can get a north or a 6 right here. No, we got a west. So we have 3 discards in a hand with no gaps. We have 2 weaknesses though. We need a north and a 6 crack. We can Kong the 6 dot. I'd say we're a contender. No, I'd say we're a contender till we get that north. If we get the north, I'd say we could bump up to front runner. We don't need that west. We're good there. That's our pair. Okay, well, I'd hold it since we got it. If we get a 6 crack, we could have an option for the first hand. There's a joker. We don't need dragons. That 4 crack can go now. Looks like nobody wants 4s. A flower. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Look. Did I 3, 4, 5? We could do that quint hand if we can get a 3 or a 5 bam. Could we get a 3 or 5 bam before it's too late? There's a 5 bam right there. I hope I didn't throw that away. I was thinking about 3, 4, 5 with 6s. Oh, well, now there's a 3 bam pung. All right, well, let's just wait and see. We could still maybe make it work. All right, so now I would let it go. We have 6s. I think I would play the like number hand with 6s and flowers. Let's pung. We're going to leverage the flowers. So we need a joker or a 6 bam. We can Kong the 6 dot. There's the 6 dot. Okay, now we have 1 discard. We can use jokers. This is a hand of least resistance. Oh, darn. Oh, I should have thought that one through a little bit. They had 3 exposures, so that was my bad. That was one of those unacceptable, or what is that? An extreme impact. I just threw a super risky discard. It happens. It happens, and you need to be okay with it. It's just, this is where you enjoy the humble pie. Humble pie, tasty. All right, I hope everyone had fun today. Thank you for being here with me. You know what I was just thinking? We have 7 minutes. Do you guys want to do a speed round? We could play one more game. Oh, I just threw a winning tile. That was my bad. I wasn't really paying attention. I was excited about our hand. Let's do a speed round. Speed round. Okay, here we go. We have 7 minutes. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Okay, we have a pair of 3s. You're welcome. Okay, now we have 3 crack pair. No 9. There are 6s, but no 9. I'm thinking 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 of some kind here. No 9, but one could come in. We could get a 9 for 3, 6, 9. We do have some like numbers with 3s in here, though. All right, so now I would let something in here go. We have 2, 3 crack, 4, 6, 3, 6, 5. Let's let the 5 dot go. Okay, we've got a 2 bam, a lot of 2, 3, 4 in here. North paired up, not helpful. 2 clear discards, north and 7. Now we choose. The 6 bam without a 9, not helpful whatsoever, so that goes. We did get another 6, but there's a 1. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's a dragon. So let's let the 6 go. We can let this 2 bam go. It's isolated. And we have 1, 2, 3 crack, 2, 3, 4, 6. We have a 6 out there already. We almost have news with 3s. Really, this dragon is not helpful. And I'd probably let a different 6 go. Let's see, 2 red 6. That's a little bit risky. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so we have a 1, a 5, 6 crack again. We can let those go with this 1. Or maybe the 5. Let's let the 5 go. 1 crack. Okay, 1 crack there. Here's a 1 band. We have East pair, not helpful. We're maybe looking for news in there. So we have 1, 2, 3 there. We have a 4 bam, 2 1s, and a 3. I would keep the 3, probably let this, let's see, the 1 bam go. I'm kind of hoping we get a 2 dot. Okay, now that's a little risky. I would break that up a little bit with that 1 dot. Okay, we got a 3 dot. Awesome. This is a little bit risky, 6, 7, 8, but we've got like numbers with 3s and maybe news. Ah, shucks. We've got another East. Okay, so let's see how this develops then. We have half of news. 1, 2, 3 with flowers.
5 dots. 6 crack.
Okay, we're going to go fast. There's West.
9 crack. 2 dots.
Okay, I would focus on like numbers with 3s and news. We almost have that block.
5 bam.
That's why we couldn't get we need to Kong that, so we got to ignore it. There's a flower. We don't need a 4. We need to Kong that. Thank goodness for jokers. We need that's what we need right there, south. Okay, now we have a joker exchange right there. Oh, no, we need a south. A west. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8 to the left. Oh, call. We're gonna call. We have joker bait with the 1. Oh, it's already out. Nobody wanted it. Okay, now that's 2 out. So that we're vulnerable at the moment. Nobody wants the 1. And they don't want 9s. Well, 2 is already out.
1.
Okay, I would love to get this 3 crack. I think this 2 crack is available too. Joker exchange. We could use a joker exchange here, or maybe that south. Oh, we got a flower. Oh. Okay, we're still in the middle game. There's a south. Darn it. Only 1 more. Okay, now here. We need that south, and there's only 1 left. I kept the flower because we might need to switch to like numbers, which is a hand of least resistance. Because the south, we're super vulnerable right now. There it is. So we have to switch. That's why I didn't throw the flower. Now we need it. We're going to use that joker as a 3 bam. Oh, salt in the wounds. At least no wounds the wins. Oh, that's our tile. We probably should fold. Joker. Okay, we'll Kong. Okay, this was a good turnaround. Thank goodness for jokers and hands of least resistance. Okay, we're going to call and pump. So now we need a joker, or we're ready to win on a 3 dot. Wow, that was quite a recovery there. We're good. Oh, darn. That's all right. We got ready to win. All right, so that's going to do it. Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you for the kudos. And I hope you enjoyed the reading from the first primer. We're going to do that like every 17 weeks or something like that. I'm just going to read a portion of the book and then do a Q&A. So maybe 15 minutes and then 15 minutes time for the session. And then we'll do gameplay with commentary. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to read a section from the second primer at 4. So if you're curious about what is in the second primer, which, what? Huh, that's weird. I put the wrong book away. So I'm going to read a portion of it. If you're wondering what's in the second primer, I'm going to read some of it. So join us at 4. And then we'll do a short Q&A, and then we'll do gameplay with commentary again. Now, next week, we're doing something new. We're going to do an open forum and hot seats. Look in the video description below for the link to the matrix where you can register to be on the hot seat. This is where you join me in the live stream, and I coach you while you play at I Love Maj for this session. So if you're interested in getting a coaching session, look for the registration link on that Nitty-Gritty, or it's the Skills and Strategies Matrix wiki article. And I'll coach you on the hot seat. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. We'll see you again soon. If you want, come back at 4 for the next Nitty-Gritty Primetime Let's Play live stream. Otherwise, we'll be back again on Wednesday for the members only Let's Play live stream at 1. And then we'll be back again on Friday for the Simply Social Let's Play live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Moderators, thank you so much for being here. I do want to give a heartfelt thank you to all subscribers for watching my videos and sharing about MAHJLIFE, and also channel members. Thank you so much for supporting MAHJLIFE. I appreciate you all so much. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.